And we're joined this morning by local author Tony Wedgeworth. And Tony, we've talked to you before on the program. We've talked about your book series. Tell us what the book series is, and then we'll go from there. Then we'll talk about some of the updates and some of the exciting news in your world recently.
Absolutely. Well, the books are kind of a blend between like a Harry Potter and a Lord of the Rings. They read like a Harry Potter. They're faster paced, very character driven. Whereas the backdrop is more like a Lord of the Rings, where you have these great big locations and traveling through different types of civilizations. And so it's been a great experience. I've had some great feedback from people that absolutely love the Harry Potter series, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, those type of things. It's been a great response.
Okay, and the name of the series is?
It's actually Altered Creatures, Epic Fantasy Adventure. Now, each book has its own title, but that's kind of, if you went on to, let's say the website is www.alteredcreatures.com.
Okay, and we talked to you, gosh, it might have been close to 10 years ago.
Yep, that's when I started.
Maybe when you first started. I think maybe you'd released your first book. We had talked to you. I think we'd had another conversation a few years ago as well. But here we are 10 years later. How many books in this series do you have out now?
Well, actually, I have two series. That
okay.
Each series has 6 books. I have 5 done of the young adult and older. That's the Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings type of thing. And the 6th book will be coming out this fall. And then I have a preteen, which is kind of middle grade chapter books. And I've got 4 of those books out. And both of them are doing absolutely great. I'm just so pleased with them. The feedback, the fan mail is just a blast every day when I get home and I read the fan mail.
Yeah, you told me before we started this interview how many books did you sell last week?
I had about 10,000 downloads last week.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it's really getting exciting. I've been spending time at Comic-Cons this past year and getting people coming up and just so excited to meet me, and then meeting new fans and getting them excited. And it's just the snowball effect has just been super.
Yeah, that's fantastic. First of all, let's get back into your background in case you're not sure who Tony is. Tony, tell us what you do for what's your day job.
Okay.
And you're from right here in Prairie du Chien, where you live.
I am. Actually, I was born in Cedar Rapids, and up until about 4 years ago, I lived over in Monona, Iowa, and now I'm here in Prairie du Chien. Work at Lori Knapp Companies, and I'm working in the office, and we run a company that provides services for people with mental and physical challenges, dementia. We help people all throughout Wisconsin. We have over 1,000 people we take care of. It's a great business to be in, just because of the fact that every day we've helped somebody out.
Yeah. How do you balance that work with all of the work involved with putting out books and selling 10,000 in a week?
That's been probably one of the biggest challenges, is because you're trying to balance work, and you're trying to balance home life, and you're trying to balance something that's just a dream and a desire that it's a passion. Be honest with you, I don't fish, I don't hunt, and so I utilize that time. Yeah. That's my hobby is to go in and just let myself just disappear in this other world. And I literally visualize the story in front of me, and I'm trying to type and keep up with it as fast as I can. And if my wife doesn't come in and stop me, I'll be there for days without even knowing that any time has gone by.
Yeah, so you've written 6 books, 6 of the main series, right?
5, and the 6th one I'm just finishing up and it's coming out this fall.
Okay, so when you're writing the books, do you already have the storyline projected out for book 7, book 8, book 9?
Okay.
Or how does your process work?
Here's the crazy part of it. I've been working on this since for almost 30 years now. So the first 20 years I was making notes of how this world would look. As opposed to regurgitating what Tolkien had already done with Middle-earth, I wanted my own world, my own species. So there's no elves and dwarves. There's all new creatures. So I've spent time developing a huge encyclopedia of 5,000 years of history of this new world. And then from there, I came up with what is the best storylines I wanted to really tell the people about it. And I came up with 30 books. So each one has 6 books in that series. So there's 5 series. And then I outline those so that way I know how they all intertwine. And each series does interlink with each other series. You don't have to read one to read the other. But as you read the second one, you go, oh, now I know why that other thing happened. So they all kind of like a fit in a puzzle, but aren't needed for you to enjoy each book separately.
Oh, fantastic. You mentioned you've recently gone to some Comic-Cons. Now, share with our listeners what a Comic-Con is, because it's this niche thing, but they're huge in popularity. So many people go to these things, and they're growing in popularity too. Tell us what a Comic-Con is and what you do there then.
Okay, and This is actually new for me too. I hadn't gone to Comic-Cons, but I was looking for a venue that really would hit people that liked this type of genre. And what I found was Comic-Cons are throughout the United States, and actually they're in Europe too, and they're hosted by various companies. The one I'm getting involved with is Wizard World Comic-Cons, and they have about 26 per year, so every other week there's a Comic-Con someplace in the United States. And it usually attracts people that enjoy superheroes, comic books, fantasy like Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Star Wars, all of those type of fantasy, all the Avengers type things. And people, it's kind of like Halloween for kids and adults because everybody comes in dressed up as their favorite character, and they can walk around and meet the other actually celebrities. I've had a chance to sit down with George Wendt and have a beer with him after one of the events. I've had a chance to talk to Kevin Sorbo. I've had a chance to talk to a whole bunch of celebrities. Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, he came over and talked to me at my booth, and it was just been a blast to be able to meet all these people and all the fans that come dressed up and get excited about it as well.
Hey, someday someone will show up to a Comic-Con wearing an altered creature cosplay, right? Is
Absolutely.
That what's
You know what the neat thing was? A lot of people in my office had read the series, and last Halloween they came dressed up as several of the characters in
fantastic.
my. What a privilege! Oh, that was so neat to see.
So the website again is alteredcreatures.com. You can find more information about the general story, the general idea of what's going on, and then you can purchase the books from there as well.
Yeah, it has links out to Amazon and Barnes & Noble or wherever you want to buy them from.
And I would imagine this day and age, most of what you're selling is the digital copy, correct?
I would say 90% or more is in the Kindle or a Nook type of a format. It's ebook.
Yeah.
But I also have an audio books as well.
Audiobooks, very cool.
Yeah, a company out in Spokane, Washington, actually bought the rights to be able to do the 6 books, and they bought it after I think the second book was written, so they're excited about it.
Oh, fantastic. That's very cool. Well, Tony, it's good to check in with you. I love talking with authors on this interview because it's such a fascinating conversation, and we're only scratching the surface. So we'll just remind you again, alteredcreatures.com, local author Tony Wedgeworth. Tony, we appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.